Hello guys, hope all of you are doing well. So today I come again after a very long time, I know, with a very new topic in success factors. As you already seen from the thumbnail, our today's topic is on integration center. So specifically we are going to discuss today how to update custom MDF using integration center. That is our topic of discussion today. Why exactly I pick up this topic basically? So, as you guys who are already working in success factors, they definitely know this limitation in success factor actually, and who don't know, I'm going to explain it actually. Why exactly I pick up this topic? So, in success factor right now, rule engine it is not completely developed. You can say so. For an example, suppose. You are trying to update one custom MDF or any MDF uh, along with the change of any employee data, like for an example, like in job information, based on some job information custom field update, you want to update another custom MDF parallelly with this within the same transaction. Means suppose when the changes happen in the job information, that on change event trigger in the job information, and you also want to update another custom MDF parallel with that transaction, but that is not possible to do using the rule engine because the cross portal thing it is very limited in success factors. So from employee data to any to any MDF, if we try to update the data along in two tables parallelly in the same transaction, so you cannot do that using the rule engine. You can also try that. Don't trust on my words exactly, you can also do that from your end. So suppose you are going to add one, you may ask the question to me right now. So there in rule engine, when we are building any rule, we can add along with the base object another custom another objects you can also add, but it allows to add in here. But when you try to trigger that rule, system will throw some error that this object or entity is not supported because the base object is different. That kind of error message you will receive in that case. That means the cross bootlet thing between an employee data like job information, comp information, personal information. Along with that, we cannot update any MDF data in the same transaction in the same on-SAP event or whatever the rule engine events we have. So that's why it comes to my mind that we can do that kind of feature when suppose you are changing in data in job information. So based on that, we can update the MDF or custom MDF's data as well parallelly using the integration centers. In integration center, there are multiple jobs. Means if you are able to schedule a job with the proper mappings, then we can achieve this. So that is what exactly we are going to discuss today, basically. So before proceeding, I like to request everyone, please pause the video for a while, hit the red subscriber button if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, and feel free to like, comment, post your comments, and share the video if you like the content of the video. So no more talkings anymore, let's come to our topic today. So as usual, to show my content or show my topic, to demo you, I picked up some scenarios as usual. So today as well, I picked up one scenario here. As you see, the scenario is, as per company's policy, suppose employee is entitled to have n number of sets of accessories or uniform. Like for an example, like in aviation industry, the air hostess, cabin crews, they are entitled to have some uniforms, right? Or some other industry like coal work, means oil and gas and those kind of industries, or coal workers, those industry workers also are entitled to have some uniforms, since company is providing that set of uniform or set of other accessories to the employees. But they cannot provide it in unlimited way, right? So every employee is entitled to have that set of accessories or uniforms. So today our discussion is based on that scenario only. Suppose one employee is provided some policy that um, the employees, based on their different deriving criteria. The criteria can be like, you can see the job classification, location, or departments. Based on those departments or location or job classification criteria, employees are entitled to have different number of sets of accessories or uniforms. Like if the department is uh, coal mine worker. Okay, so it is also a part of operations division, but it is the different department is coal mine worker. So that coal mine worker, obviously they are working on the field, so their uniform and accessory is going to be damaged quickly rather than the executives who are sitting in the offices, right? So that's why coal mine workers are entitled to have three or four sets of uniforms as per company's policy, but the executives, they're entitled to have one set of uniforms because they are not directly working in the coal fields or in the fields, right? So same way in the aviation industry as well, cabin crews or other executives or pilots or air hostesses, they are entitled to have 3 to 4 sets of uniforms, but the persons who are sitting in the offices, they might be not entitled to have that number of uniforms. They're entitled to have two or one set of uniforms. So based on different categories, the number of sets of accessories or uniforms are entitled in different number of sets basically. So that's why this is the entitlement. Now in EC, what we need to do, we need to set up some entitlement, right? So based on these deriving factors, we can set up this number of entitlements, and also we need to have means UI. In that UI in EC, employee can claim their uniforms or accessories. Okay, so that is what we are going to demo today. We are going to create it in the system today. But what is the use of integration center here? That question might pop up in your mind. So here, suppose we are going to maintain the entitlement based on different categories in employees job information, but we need to have one claim UI as well, right? So in claim UI, when employee is going to claim, then the entitlement amount need to be populated in the claim UI as well from job information field. And suppose one employee's department is getting changed or job classification is getting changed, then on change of that data in job information, the entitlement amount in the claim UI also need to be updated automatically. That is, in there is the actual use of integration center comes into here. Okay, so let's might be you get confused with these theories. Let's get into the system and check live, so you can understand it in better way. Let's check first what is the integration configuration steps over here. So the first step, we need to create custom fields in job information to have the entitlement value employee wise, right? So this is the first step. Now the second step will be, we need to create some lookup tables, because as we told, this entitlement value that depends on different deriving value, deriving field criteria like job classification, location, division, and etc. whatever based on your requirement. So to fetch the values, the entitlement amounts based on those criteria, we need to have some reference table or lookup tables, right? So we need to create some lookup table in the backend. From there we can fetch this value over here in the job information fields. Now third step is now we need to create one custom MDF. So what is the purpose of this custom MDF? This custom MDF we need to display in as a claim UI, from where employee can claim their entitled uniform and accessories. So that is the purpose, and we also need to store the information, means what is the entitlement value, what are the number of sets that employee has claimed, what is the remaining number of sets available to the employee to be claimed. So that kind of information you need to also store, because from admin or management perspective, using reports might be they want to view that information by end of year or mid of the year, right? So that's why that is the purpose, to store all of this information, and to apply it as a claim UI to employees, we need to have some custom MDF. So we need to create that. Now fourth step is, we created this custom MDF. We need to populate this custom MDF to be available in employees view, right? Unless it is being populated to employees view or people profile, that claim UI will not be available to the employee, so employee will not able to claim. So that is required, that this custom MDF in form of claim UI need to be visible to the employees. That is our fourth step of configuration. Now the fifth step is, here comes the integration centers. Using integration center, we need to update the custom MDF for entitlement values from job info custom fields. That is the part mainly you are going to focus in this today's video. So let's guys get into our instance and try to check how we can configure this. Yeah, so guys, I logged into the instance right now, and let's try to configure as per our requirement. uh, okay, let's try to create the step one first. That means the custom field in the job information. Let's go to manage business configuration. That I already did. I'm just showing you what I added in job information as a part of custom field to show the entitlement value. So let's go to job information over here. So in job information, cancel it out. So this custom long field I have added, that is the uniform entitlement. That is the entitlement value custom field that I have added in job information right now. Now we have to also create one custom MDF for the claiming purpose for the employees and to show to the employee as a claim UI as well, right? So let me go to configure object definition. Object that I also created over here to save the time. If you want to know more about the how to create the custom MDF, what are the utilities or functionalities of different fields, you can check my previous uploaded videos. That is already available in the playlist called SuccessFactor, and you can also get it from the eye icon in the top right corner. So if you click on there, you can also find the playlist over, and also all my previous uploaded videos over there. Now this is the custom MDF that I have created, and what are the fields over here. As I already told, I need to show this custom MDF as a claim UI, so that's why you need to show that in the employee view or a people profile. And if as we know that if we want to show any custom MDF as in a custom view to the employee, then obviously you need to have the user ID field as the external code, and that need to be used as a subject user field. To know more about this, how to populate this, what is the other steps, other things, you can check my previous one uploaded video that is particularly on this topic only. I will share the link of that video as well in my comment box. You can check it as well. So this is the custom MDF we have built. The fields I have used here: user ID, effective start date, cost entitlement, and cost claim, and another field I also added later, that is the cost remaining. So that means after claim, what are the remaining number of entitlements are available to that employee. That is now as a first step, we need to initialize this object, and okay, so let me just go to one employee called John Williams, suppose. And I also created that custom MDFs, custom UI of that custom MDF, and also attached it to employees view. So this is where employee can see that custom MDF data. If they go there, they can check this data over here. But we need to, as you see now, there is no entitlement amounts are coming over here. So first we need to initialize these object. So let's go to manage data. Uniform. Okay, let me create that. Williams. I'm just creating that particular table, but I'm not updating the entitlement claim or remaining amount because those are going to be updated from integration center. The entitlement amount is definitely going to be updated from the integration center, and claim and remaining amount, that is going to be updated based on employees claims. Okay, so now this object is ready. Now let's go to that particular employee's job information field. Okay, so let me just update one record over here. 1st Jan 2018. Let me just edit and update this record here. So here is the field uniform entitlement basically. So suppose I am updating as 2 right now. So employee is entitled to have 2 sets of uniform accessories, whatever it is. Now let me save it. So when one employee is going to be hired, this field can be filled up during the employee's hiring as well. And for the existing employees, obviously we need to update it first here. And these 2 field, this is a use means free text field right now. So because I have not created the lookup table in the system, but as per your requirement you can create the lookup table based on the deriving factors, like when employees job classification. Suppose for these employees job classification in executive management, so you can set up one rule: when this job classification is executive management, automatically it is going to be updated too. So in that case this manual input is also not required. To save the time, I have skipped that configuration, but you can also maintain it if you want the lookup table part. So I just updated the uniform entitlement manually as 2. Now let's come to the integration center. So our aim is, as I updated the entitlement amount as 2, it should populate here in the claim UI itself. Also when the entitlement amount is going to be changed in that employee's particular job information, then also that changed entitlement amount need to be populated in this UI field. That means in this MDF it need to be updated, and that can be done by the integration center. So let's go to integration center right now. So using integration center with these keywords, you can reach to the integration center tool. Yeah, so we reached the integration center UI. Now let's go to my integration, because we are going to create one custom integration here. And to create the custom integration, you can click on this create button option. There you can see multiple predefined options are available: schedule simple file input, scheduled EDI stack file output integration, schedule CSV import integrations. But we want to choose that more integration type, because we want to update within SuccessFactors. Means the source is also SuccessFactors, the destination is also SuccessFactors. That's why I need to choose the source type as SuccessFactors, destination type also as SuccessFactors. And when we choose the source and destination as SuccessFactors, you can see the formats, all other formats are disabled, only O data is only supported. Okay, that's why. And then we need to update here whether you are going to choose the trigger type. Means whether it is scheduled or other trigger type you want to choose here. We need to choose here as scheduled, because our aim is when the changes happen every day, system will check, and if there any change happen, system is going to update that. That's why you can choose the integer type as scheduled over here and go and create it. So we need to set the trigger type as scheduled, because our aim is every day this job should check whether there is any change in job information made or not, and based on that it can update the custom MDF. So That's why we can set the trigger type as scheduled over here. Now let's create it. Okay, yeah. Now we need to set based on which object we are going to do this integration or going to do this upsort basically. So we need to find our custom MDF name over here. I try to search uniform and it gets me accessories uniform claim. This is our object. You can also see the available data preview. So okay, this is the only data available over here that we have created for this employee John Williams. So this is the only data is available over here. You can see that. Now the only thing that is the only limitation or drawback you can say in this particular solution that I'm going to build, that is when a new employee is getting hired in your organization. So as a part of means creating that employee's data in the system by add new employee or pending hire from the tools, you have to update that entitlement amount in the employee's job information, as well as you also initialize that employee's data in the custom MDF as well. Just like I did that, I created that employee's user ID and set the effective date, and rest of the fields you can remain as blank because it is going to be updated by integration center. The entitlement field is going to be updated by integration center, and when employee is going to claim that, these two fields is going to be updated based on that. Claim field means employee is going to put how many numbers of sets employee is going to claim, so that is going to be updated by employee manually during the process of claim. And remaining field we can place some rules over here so that it will calculate what is the number of entity entitlement, what is the number of claims that employee is claiming, and it will minus that and put the value over here. So that is also business rule control. Main purpose to update here is the entitlement field. To update that, we need to initialize these objects. Whenever new employees are added to your organization, you need to initialize this object. That is the only thing need to be done manually from your side. That is a one time only. Okay, now let's select our object over here and come back to the next step. Now we need to configure our configure fields. So let me put some name for the integration, LYT demo integration. So I put that name over here. Let's go to the configure fields. So in configure fields, what you can see first, that is the plus sign, means you can also add another entity if you want to add. If you want to delete, you can delete it. You can shift your rows up and down based on your requirements, maintain the sequence. And there is the main thing is the operation. You can see the upsert multiple operation is available, so we need to choose these operations. So what is the purpose of this operation? It will upsert multiple records because it is a multiple supported, and upsert means it is going to update the record in your custom MDF table in the backend, okay, or your target table in the backend, what you are choosing over here. So we are choosing the custom uniform. That custom MDF table will need to be updated using this integration only, custom integration. So that's why we choose this object. Now let's do the mapping. Next important part is to do the mapping. So I click on this external code, means this is the user ID basically we have configured over here, and you can see here three types of mappings or associations available. One is the direct association. You can put direct value over here, and you can, it is a hard-coded value basically, a constant value. Or you can do it using associating with a field, means based on some fields value we need to pass on this particular field value, and it is going to be uploaded using the integration center. That is what we are going to do. Another is the calculate. If you want to apply any specific formulas over here, or if else conditions, different conditions, then you can apply it using a set calculator field. Okay, now first we need to map or associate the user ID of custom MDF with the user ID of job information, right? So let's bind it first. So here me open this. So this is the preview. When I'm going to build this association, automatically all the field value will pop up over here. This is the navigation route. It will show me the navigation route of these associations, and this is the field filter. If you want to apply any filter on this particular binding, you can apply it as well. Now let me search my target value. So user ID in job info. This is the field I'm going to associate with this particular user ID field of custom MDF. So as you see, when these fields are come, all the field values are populating over here. All the user IDs are populating over here. So I'm going to select this association and click on change association to user type field. So as you see, when why only these value is populated among all of those value shades? Okay, because we initiate this value, because in custom MDF only this value is available. John Williams, that is the John Williams user ID that is populated over here. So it is actually not creating any record, it is upserting or updating a record in custom MDF. That's why you need to have the external code or user IDs need to be created, that need to be initiated in your custom MDF. That is the first part. So that's why as these only one record is available in our custom MDF, that's why only one record is mapped one to one. Now start date. Again, I need to build the building based on start date in job info. See, all of these start dates are populating, but which is going to be binded, that start date will always populate in your previous. So this is the start date 1st Jan 2018 that is populated over here, which is available here. Now means user need to define now entitlement amount. For this field we need to do the bindings. So let's do it again the same way. Uniform entitlement for job information and do it. So automatically two value is populated, because for this particular employee we maintain the entitlement for job information is 2. Let's check it once more. Uniform entitlement, that is the field over here. You can see it is 2 maintained, that's why the 2 value is populated in the preview. So our binding is done now. Need two fields like claim UI and remaining claims. I'm just putting the same association claim uniform. So whatever will be there in the particular MDF, it will be copied and carried forward. Yeah. And remaining one. Okay. So let me check how this looks like, because these field values claim and remaining is blank in our managed data part. So that's why it is not populating anything. But entitlement amount, as you see, it is also blank in this MDF, but we are picking this value from employee's job information. Now go next. So if here, if you this is the filter and sort options, if you want to apply any filter or shorts, you can apply it based on time slice months. It is always going to pick up only that record which is last updated. So we can also do that. Modified since or effective date, can apply it, or from last run. So from last run only it will pick up the data, rest of the records it will not pick up for the update purpose. Yeah. Schedule. Now here it is the scheduling period. So you can schedule it as per our requirement. Actually we need to schedule it from daily basis, so we are doing, but based on your requirement you can schedule it as per your custom requirements. Okay, now let's save it. So our integration is built now, saving the data, and let's try to check up. Let's run it now. So I just triggered one run over here. It might take a couple of minutes. So run is completed. As you see, run is completed over here. Let's check the, so from here we can also see the monitor. So one record is updated, it is showing. Now let's go to our manage data and refresh this one. So after refresh, as you see, the entitlement amount is getting updated. So that means actually our integration is working. So whatever the entitlement amount for this particular employee maintained, it is updating now. Now let's check another testing. Let me create another record on top of this record and try to see whether it is going to be updated or not. So this record is first Jan 2018. Let me insert a new record on top of this. 19 Jan. Okay, let's pick up 19 Jan or 1st Jan 2020. Data change. Data change. So event and event agent both I choose as data change for testing purpose only. Now uniform I am going to update as 4 and saving it. So uniform entitlement is updated to 4 for this particular employee. Now let's run the integration. As it is scheduled, automatically it is going to be run daily basis. So end of day or whatever the scheduling time you are going to set, based on that it is going to update. Let me run it now for the testing purpose. So it is scheduled now. So it just completed the job here. And if we come to this MDF part, you can see 1st Jan 2020 entitlement amount, new record inserted, and entitlement amount is going to be updated as well. So this is how we can integrate that between a employee data and a custom MDF basically to flow down the data. And now let's check how users can apply on that. So users can come over here in their UI, and when they open that, you can see entitlement amount. They can see, suppose employee is going to apply 1. When they select 1, so I placed one custom MDF rule on change, and when they going to claim it, suppose they claim 1, if I try to claim 2, it is going to be updated 2 as well. I'm going to save it. This is how it can be achieved. So hope you enjoyed this video. I tried to provide as much information I have related to integration center with a basic example. I just provided over here. So if you like the video, please hit the like icon and try to share the video as much as possible. And if you want to post your comments in the comment section, you can also do that. So keep watching. Happy learning. Thank you. Bye bye.